Going well. I am Chris Bandi, singer-songwriter based in Nashville, Tennessee. We just made the announcement today that my debut EP will be coming out May 29th, and we are so excited to get that out.
Yes, I read about that. What are you most excited about for that?
I think I'm most excited about actually finally having a product that we can, get out to listeners, because I've been saying, I've never put a date on it because I learned very, very early that, if you make a plan, it never really goes to plan. So we've been saying that we're going to have an EP out for a very long time, and just to be able to get it out and into people's hands is going to be an amazing feeling.
For sure. Now, I know your single, Man Enough Now, has quite the reaction over streaming platforms all over America and beyond America even.
Yes, that was amazing. So I wrote that song with two of my favorite people in town to write with, Jason Massey and Jason Duke. And I wrote it before I had a publishing deal, before I had a record deal. I was just kind of this guy that nobody really knew about, and everybody that would write with me was kind of just taking the chance that they thought something was going to happen. And I had this idea thinking about a relationship that I was in previously while I was in college, and making the young dumb mistakes that 21-year-old guys do, and being out of that relationship for a few years and learning some things and kind of growing up a little bit. I kind of got this idea of Man Enough Now. I wasn't ready for the relationship then, but would we have worked out if we met a little bit later on down the road? Because now I feel like I'm ready for a relationship, and I'm man enough now for a relationship. And I brought that idea into them, and it was just kind of one of those songs that fell out in the writer's room, and we knew that as soon as we got done that we had something special.
Nice. Well, apparently everybody else thinks so too, because I read that it had 80 million streams.
It was crazy. Yeah, we put it out on all the platforms, not really thinking anybody would ever hear it, but we were playing all these shows, and we didn't have music to leave them with other than, hey, check us out on Facebook, or go like us on Facebook, or check us out on Instagram and follow along with us. But there was nothing that they could go listen to after we were done. So we just wanted to throw it up. We didn't really have a plan together or anything other than get it out there. And it completely blew everyone's mind that how well it started doing, and people started listening to it and sharing it with their friends and families, and playing it on repeat and tweeting us about it and coming to shows, requesting it, singing along to every single word. So it was just kind of one of those things that I hated this word when I moved to town, but just happened organically. And you don't really realize it until you see something happen as organically as that one did.
Now, how do you feel having to, promote that album in the time of, quarantine versus being able to go out and promote in person?
It is crazy. We had this whole plan, EP release show, all of this stuff that you don't really get to do due to, the lockdowns and Corona right now. But we've seen, just doing some of these lives and being able to play and do covers on Instagram and stuff like that, we've seen how much people need music right now, because it's one of those things that it's a release from everything that's going on in everybody's world. And we knew that this was going to be a perfect time to get it out, because it's exactly what people are needing. And thankful that I have a project and a team that believes in this EP, that we were able to get everything done, get everything ready, and, set up stuff like this so we can promote it. Even if it's not face-to-face, at least promote it the best way that we can.
For sure. I know music has definitely been keeping me going throughout this time.
Yes. Have you found yourself listening to older stuff, like stuff that you grew up listening to? Because that's what I found myself doing.
A little bit.
I've been going back to the throwbacks a lot, and stuff that I, grew up listening to and loved as a kid or in my teenage years, and going back and diving into those, and just being reacquainted with what brought me to where I am today.
A lot of that too. Yes, for sure. I've done a lot of live stream, rounds on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And so many artists, saying that they're so grateful for this platform, and yeah.
It is an amazing platform to be able to just hop on and play a few songs. Just talk to people, engage with people, because even at shows, we do meet and greets and stuff, but we don't get the live feedback of people commenting, "Oh my gosh, I love this song," or stuff like that. And it's just amazing to be able to talk to somebody, because like I said, even though it's not face to face, it is definitely better than being holed up in a house by yourself for however many weeks we've been here.
For sure. Now, where are you at right now?
I'm in Nashville.
Okay.
So my girlfriend and I live in Nashville, and we have been hunkered down. We're very lucky that we have, a roof over our head and food on the table and our health. So we've been getting by. It's been all right.
How do you feel about like the state opening up, but Nashville is still closed?
I'm a little nervous about, and I think a lot of people are a little hesitant to, as soon as anything opens, go rush out and go to a bar or go hang out with friends and stuff like that. I know that I am a hypochondriac. So had I even gotten a cold during this, I would have freaked out, and, even a sniffle or anything like that. So I'm definitely going to stay at home a little bit longer, see how it plays out. Because, and even everybody was saying, it's just the flu. It's just something like the flu. If I had the option to not get the flu, I'm going to take that option. So I'm probably going to wait a little bit, see how it pans out before we make our first steps without, gloves and masks on.
I just feel like Nashville has had such a rough few months with like the tornadoes and this and all the storms.
It was pretty crazy. Our house actually got hit by the tornado in March, and we were planned to be home 5 days in March, and which led to us being home from March 13th through today. But one of the nights happened to be the night that the tornado hit, and it actually came straight through our street. Luckily, our house got minimal damage. We were without power for, I think, 11 days, but we have a tree that's on its way down. It's about 90% down. It's just hovering right above our fence in the backyard, and we have somebody coming to take it out tomorrow morning. But other than that, all the cleanup has been done, and we finally got power back, which is nice. And the new storms coming through the last few nights, we've had a rough go of it. Nashville as a whole. Not just,
the past few nights, everybody on my timeline is like freaking out, like, not again.
Yes.
And it's the same areas too that keep getting it.
I know. It's been crazy.
Well, hopefully things will pick up for us soon. And I know you had an exciting moment back in February at the Grand Ole Opry.
We did. We got to make our Grand Ole Opry debut, and it is something that I will never, ever forget. Kind of moving to Nashville, that is the pinnacle of country music, and people that I grew up listening to that have played that stage and gone on to be members, just to be able to, step out on that stage and step into that circle was, for lack of a better word, just magical. I invited my family down. My girlfriend's family came down. My drummer, who grew up every Saturday listening to the Opry with his grandpa, his parents came down. So it was definitely a night that I know I will never forget. My band will never forget. And just to be able to walk out onto that stage was, the history in those four walls is unprecedented. And being able to do that was, I hope we get to do it many, many more times, but you'll never forget your first time.
I mean, that's, a really cool experience for any artist, let alone, a brand new upcoming artist who hasn't released an album yet. So
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. I remember when we got the call that I was making my Grand Ole Opry debut, my heart just sunk into my stomach, just the nerves. And I remember walking out when they announced me, my heart, I feel like the people in the front row could just see my heart beating out of my chest. and everybody was telling me to just take it all in, take a deep breath, and just, like I said, take the entire moment in. And so walking out there, I stopped before I stepped into the circle, kind of looked down at it for a second, looked at the crowd, took a deep breath, stepped in, looked back at my drummer, and he kicked it off. And it was an incredible night.
Now, I've heard from others, like the minute that they get in that circle, they forget everything.
Yes. So I think I'm terrible with remembering lyrics. I don't know if I've played a show where I have not forgotten one lyric or fudged on one part. And so that was my main concern. I was like, what if I go out there and I just forget all the words to all these songs that I've written? But I stepped in and remembered every single word, and it was like time just kind of stood still.
That's awesome. So I know you've been on a couple of tours with some pretty cool guys lately, Lane Hardy and Matt Stell.
Yes.
What can you tell us about those guys and those tours?
It's been awesome. Lane was this past fall, and it was great seeing him, go from American Idol to finding himself on stage and finding himself in the music that he was writing and connecting with those fans, because it's a completely different ball game doing a TV show and getting out and capturing audiences and fans live. And he did a phenomenal job, making that transition from Idol to the live stage. And it was awesome to see him, play and really find his own while he was doing that. And being out with Matt and I have been friends for a long time, and just to be able to share that stage, I kind of joke that it was more of a summer camp than a tour with all of our crews and everybody, and it was just like a family out there.
Well, I've interviewed Lane. He was pretty cool. Pretty
yes.
Nice. I haven't interviewed Matt yet, but would love to. So
absolutely, I'll put a good word in.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So I know you've also got a brand new video on CMT, correct?
Yes. So we shot the video. It was actually the second video that we shot for Man Enough Now. My buddy Dustin Haney directed both of them. We shot the first one. Like I said, we had no plan when we originally released the song. We just wanted to get something out. Had no money, had nothing really going on. And Dustin and I have been friends, since we both moved to Nashville. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, hey, can we do something as cost effectively as possible to make it look good and show who I am? And we'll just throw it up on YouTube. And we went out to Gatlinburg and shot the initial video. And I knew that he was the guy that I wanted to use when we went to do a second video for the radio release of the song. And we got Luke Pell to be in it, Kelly Berglund. And it was amazing to see all of it come together from start to finish. One day, I've never had, a crew of 20 people around to shoot a music video for me, and everybody just, poured their heart and soul into that project. And to be able to say that we had a video on CMT is incredible.
And Gatlinburg's such a fun place. I love it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So what is next for you after all of this? What's the plan?
I hope to get touring soon. We have a lot of dates. This summer was supposed to be packed. This fall was supposed to be packed. I don't know when they're going to let us back out. We were in the middle of a radio tour when everything kind of shut down. So promoting the single, promoting the EP, and playing shows as soon as possible. Yes,
for sure. And I've been asking everybody what they've been doing to stay positive during this time.
Music has been a godsend. Like I said, going back to listen to old stuff that I grew up on, doing some of these lives has been amazing to be able to sit and chat with people, talk to them, play some new songs for them, see what they think, see if they like them, see if they hate them. We've been watching a lot of Netflix. I think if streaming services were not around, it would be a lot more boring. Learning how to make some cool drinks, learning how to make some cool meals. So it's been it's been hard for everybody, but one thing is we're all in this together. You know, everybody, whether you're, you know, the CEO of some company or you're an employee somewhere else, everybody is in this together. Everybody is going through the exact same thing right now, and that kind of just keeps us going.
For sure. Totally agree.